when you make the statement that everyone knows that God exists, it requires only one to say that I don't know that God exists, to disprove your whole entire premise on that. Regardless of the facts or not, whether it exists, when you make the statement that everyone knows something or everyone does something, all it takes is one individual to disprove you on that. So I'll tell you right here, I don't know that God exists.
Okay. The Bible says you do, but if you really don't, then you got nothing to worry about.
So
enjoy your life.
Since I don't know, my
now,
question
the Bible
is to you.
says you do.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't care.
Okay.
My point to you is, it says whatever. But my point is, if you can claim that everybody knows that God exists, and I just remove that premise, why are you still here using the same things that we've heard time and time again?
Easy, because I don't believe you. I know that you do know God exists. The Bible says you
know what's in my head. Hold on.
Everyone, let me excuse me just one moment. I just want to remind everyone of our rules of decorum tonight. And so you've asked your question, and I'm going to give Mr. Eric an opportunity to answer your question.
Hey, I do want to thank you. And are the LaGrange humanists here? Are they here tonight? Are you guys here? Maybe? Okay. I really am thankful because, and I enjoyed during our little intermission a time to talk with Mr. Smith a little bit. I hadn't gotten to meet him very much before. Man, I encourage good discussion. And so, man, I hope that some of you guys get to encounter some great interaction tonight. And Christians, you'd better do it with love and with gentleness and with respect, which is the way God commands you to do it. Doesn't mean you need to back down, but you need to be loving at the same time. And so, man, I love that question. Does everybody know God exists? Absolutely. Matter of fact, I've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let me show you how I know that. Here we go. Out of all the knowledge in the universe, how much knowledge do we have? We don't have very much knowledge out of all the knowledge in the universe. Here we go. All right. An important concept to consider. If you could be wrong, then you don't really know. If I said the speed limit outside is 45 miles an hour, but I could be wrong, do I know what the speed limit is? No. If I said the Sears Tower was 1,714 feet tall, but I could be wrong, do I know the height of the Sears Tower? No. Out of all the knowledge there is to know in the universe, how much knowledge have we acquired as human beings or even individually? Not much, okay? We don't have. Let's just assume, for sake of illustration, and Thomas Edison said, we don't know 1/1,000,000th of 1% about anything. Let's assume that we think we've got 1% of all the knowledge in the universe. If you thought you had 1% of all the knowledge in the universe, let me ask you something. Is it possible that out of the 99% that you have not acquired, that something out there could actually contradict the 1% that you think you have acquired? Yeah. So you could be wrong about the 1%. And if you could be wrong, then you don't know. So therefore it follows that we know absolutely nothing. You have to conclude logically that you would have to know everything in order to make a claim that you know something, because otherwise you could be wrong. And if you could be wrong, you don't really know. Or you can have revelation from someone who does know everything. If the one who knows everything reveals truth to you, you can know it to be absolutely certain, and such that you cannot be wrong. How do I know that you know that God exists? Because you have knowledge. You came up here and you talked in the mic as if you knew that the mic was going to amplify your sound. You put clothes on thinking, hey, I think I ought to do this. This is good. You comb your hair. You try not to stub your toe. You drive on the correct side of the road most of the time, I hope. You know things. And without God, it's impossible to even have knowledge. It's like arguing against God is like arguing against air. You have to use air to make your argument. Saying God does not exist is like saying I don't believe in words. The very statement assumes words. Saying God does not exist assumes God. And I'll give you another quote from C.S. Lewis, hopefully if I have another 3 minutes another time.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Mike?
Go ahead with your quote.
Is that all right? All right. This is love this quote. C.S. Lewis said, supposing there was no intelligence behind the universe, no creative mind, as you say, in that case, nobody designed my brain for the purpose of thinking. It is merely that when the atoms inside my skull happen, for physical or chemical reasons, to arrange themselves in a certain way, this gives me, as a byproduct, the sensation I call thought. But if so, how can I trust my own thinking to be true? It's like upsetting a milk jug and hoping the way it splashes itself will give you a map of London. But if I can't trust my own thinking, of course, I can't trust the arguments leading to atheism, and therefore have no reason to be an atheist or anything else. Unless I believe in God, I cannot believe in thought, so I can never use thought to disbelieve in God.